We are on Negaim, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Daled. Fourth Mishnah, the first chapter of the second Negaim. So we're going to give like a list. We've learned that you can have clear and you can have redness. We learned the 4 levels of clear. Let's take a look for a second. We learned the 4 levels of clear. Shelek, Semer, Lavan, Sida, Ichal, Krum, Beitza, snow, white wool, plaster, and egg membrane. Those are the egg whites. I wonder if you like, when you buy paint, you could buy egg membrane white. Interesting question. So now we're going to have a whole list. It says the Mishnah. Rabbi Chanina Sgan HaKohanim Omer, said Rabbi Chanina Sgan HaKohanim, Mar'ot Negaim Shisha Asar. Okay, the Mar'ot of Negaim, the different Mar'ot, different possible looks or colors of Negaim is 16. And we're going to have a different count, so how you get to each count. Now, what's really important here, of course, is what the Bartanura says. The Bartanura says, Mar'ot Negaim, Shloshim B'Shisha Garsinan. Garsinan is always like, is this language in the Mishnah or not? V'lo Garsinan Mar'ot Negaim Shisha Asar. Take out that first sentence. It's not supposed to be there. Okay, so where did it come from? Really interesting question. But of course, now that we have the National Library of Israel, we're going to look and see which one. So I went to the National Library of Israel website. I did the Mishnah. Okay, and we looked. Let's look at a couple of them. Rabbi Dosa ben Hirkinis Omer Dalid, right? Mari Negaim Shloshim Shlosha V'Shisha. So this should be interesting. 36. Okay, that's one Ktav Yad, so it's not there. Let's look at another one. That's Kaufman. Kaufman is the name of the library. Let's look at Parma, another library. Rabbi Yosef ben Hirkinis Omer Ma'od Negaim Shloshim V'Shisha. See, you notice the other one is Shlosha V'Shisha. See, there are all kinds of mistakes in these things, but you see, in all of the Kitva Yad that you're going to choose, you have another one. Munich hasn't worked for me at all. So every time I check Munich, it doesn't work. But you can see in all the Kitva Yad that we're looking at, here, let's look here. Rabbi Yosef ben Irkinis, fascinating, Omer, Negaim Shloshim V'Shisha. So in each one, it's 36. So we're going to take out Rabbi Chanina Sgan HaKohanim. It's not a Mishnah. It's not interesting. So it really just goes to show you that just because it happens to be in your Mishnah doesn't mean it's actually part of the Mishnah. Okay, so Rabbi Dosa ben Hirkinis Omer, Mar'ot Negaim Shloshim V'Shisha. 36. There are 36 Mar'ot. How do you get to 36? So he says the following. He says, listen, okay, how do you get to Arba Mar'ot Chalakot? We had the 4 plain. Arba Mar'ot Ptuchot. Remember, we had the 4 redness. Okay, so you have plain and red, that's 8. Ukinegdan b'shchin umichva. Okay, and then you have this similar, so that's on regular skin, so that's 8. And then you have on boils and burns, 16. Sheshchin umichva archem, there's 1. Okay, ukinegdan bin nitakim. Netek is, well, if you look in Sefaria, netek appears here in the nega, bebroach, in the head or the beard. Okay, and you have certain views, certain kind of nega, that's called a netek. Tzaraat, tzaraat of the hair or the beard. So that's netek. So you have 8 more for netek. And then or you have bald spots. That's another 8. Tosachakol altogether, that's 32. So we have 8, 8, 8, and 8. And then yirak va'adam dam dinigei b'gadim. You have green and red for clothing, for tzaraat of clothing, and also green and red for houses. So that's another 4, total of 36. So Rabbi Dosa ben Hirkinis says, Mar'ot Negaim Shloshim V'Shisha. They have 36. Akabe ben Mahalal Omer. Akabe ben Mahalal says, no, 72. Shiv'im Ushnaim. How do you get to 72? You have 36 here. And he says, at the end of each period, Akabe ben Mahalal, they have to have changed a little bit. So that's a double. So that's 72. I don't know if they have to change more or less. I'm not entirely sure why he gets to 72. Rambam has his position. You can look it up. Nu halacha. Rabbi Chanina Sgan HaKohanim Omer. Said Rabbi Chanina Sgan HaKohanim. By the way, that's probably why Rabbi Chanina Sgan HaKohanim came in here. He got very confused and he copied it twice. Who knows? You cannot see Negaim. The Kohen should not see Negaim on Sunday. Why? Because at the end, if you see a Nega on a Sunday, like on Sunday the 7th here, okay, then the week ends on the 7th day. You count the first day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th day counts for both. So it happens to be on Shabbat. And therefore, that's a bad thing. Okay, why is that important? The Shnei Hesgerot, Shlosha Asar Yom, Because when you do Hezger, remember it's 13 days. When the Kohen says, "Oh, I don't know," you have to wait. It's a total of 13 days. The Yom Shvi'i Shel Shavua Bishon, the 7th day of the first one, Ole Lakan Ulakan. It counts for both, meaning it's the 7th day and also the first day. I mean, the Kohen would have to see you on Shabbat, and he's not going to look at the Negaim on Shabbat, and you get pushed off. So therefore, never look at it on a Sunday. Don't look at it on Sunday because you're going to end up having to have the 7th day. If you go on Sunday, it's going to be on Shabbat. Plus, he says, don't do it on Monday. Lo b'sheni, shouldn't see Negaim on Monday. Sheshavua sheni shelo chal liot b'Shabbat. Because if you do it on Monday, let's go back. If you do it on Monday, the 7th day is Sunday. So you do count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Kohen comes back on Sunday. He's like, I don't know. But he said, let's look it over. And he'd have to come out the 7th day, which would be another on Shabbat. Bad, don't do that. So therefore, don't see Negaim on Sunday or Monday. If you have a problem, you go to the Kohen, he's like, come see me Tuesday. Also, v'lo b'shlishi lebatim. Don't do it, don't see it even on Tuesdays for houses. Sheshavua shlishi shelo chal liot b'Shabbat. Because the Hezger for houses, you can even have for 3 weeks. And then you'd end up on Shabbat again. Rabbi Akiva says, no, lo olam ro'im, whenever. Sunday, Monday, doesn't matter. Chal liot b'toch HaShabbat. If it happens that the day of checking is on Shabbat, then ma'avirin la'achar Shabbat. You just push it off to the next day. Meaning you have 2 possibilities. Either you don't see in order to make sure that you never have a Shabbat, or if it lands on Shabbat, what are you going to do? And then you just wait till Sunday. V'yesh b'davar lahakel u'lachmir. And pushing it off can be either lahakel, it can either cause leniency, or machmir, it can cause stringency. And the next 2 Mishnayot is going to tell you in great detail what the leniency and the stringency possibly could be. Stop here and dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.